Right.
Little disappointed about that. Scott, you can't be on mute and then hit the record button.
Yeah. What's up with that? Nothing like piling on.
I don't hit the record button. It goes on automatically when I join.
Mm. But not you said might be heading to Phoenix too at some point, no?
Yeah, so I'll spend some time in Quartzsite. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get on the they have Meet at the Q. They have all kinds of Facebook groups. I'm going to get on them and just see if there's any interest in me doing some hypnosis down there as well.
Right.
So.
Well, I got family down there in Yuma, San Luis, just right down south of there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got married and my wife's from down there, and it seems like I'm related to half of Mexico now.
Oh,
De veras.
well,
Yeah.
Oh, no, ¿te parece que avisé que voy a entrar a las 8 a trabajar?
Okay.
Tengo 2 horas de vacación, no puedo meter hora de enfermedad.
Okay, está bien. Okay. Look it up. Anyway.
Yep. Now you know you're married to most of Mexico, so
Yeah.
I think we all are. All my in-laws, every one of them is from Mexico. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I mean. Not really true, not actually related. I mean, it seems like it. It's like holy Toledo. Anyway, but anyway.
Hey James, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Sorry.
All right.
Howdy.
Any chance that you are related to any of the other Ledouxs, like Chris Ledoux or?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. I don't know exactly, but there's a very good chance because it was a small group of Ledouxs that came over from France originally, and then they spread out all over. Yeah. Unfortunately, my grandfather who brought the name to us sort of disappeared. So we don't know that much about that side of the family, but my mom's one of those genealogy nerds. So she probably knows the exact answer, but yeah, it would be a very distant cousin if there's any relation. But I should have faked it in college and be like, yeah, he's my uncle. Because I grew up in Texas and girls would ask that question a lot at country bars.
Oh my gosh, where in Texas did you grow up?
In Austin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, really.
Better than Eastern New Mexico, where Scott.
I don't know. It looks like it worked out pretty well for him.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Who's worrying about truth here?
Truth is in the eye of the beer holder.
There you go. Well, the only problem with truth is not really bad. It's just it's not usually very interesting.
Yeah.
So I only have an hour tonight, Scott. I got to get on. I can't miss the national finals. That's the one thing I live for.
Why my lighting's so bad?
I'm sure that your wife would be really happy to hear you say that.
Unfortunately for her, the only way I can watch a national finals is for her to hook up her laptop and stream it on our TV. So that's her purpose in life for the first 10 days of December. So, hi, Lisa. What's for dinner?
I had a sauteed mushroom fontina cheese with garlic sauce burger. Now I'm having dessert.
Hey, should the conversation ever come up, I noticed in my Zelle? Was it my Zelle? That my payment never
Zelle?
went through to Alan, and I owe Alan $50. And
Oh, well,
so
okay.
if you ever go broke, I owe Alan $50. And I tried 3 times to send it to him. And there's something messed up with, because it always says enter his last 4 digits, and I believe his is 2999 are the last 4
Yes.
digits of his phone number. And every time I enter it in,
And that didn't work? Okay, I'll send you a separate set of 4-digit numbers,
okay.
but it should work. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't-
everybody else sent it to us through Venmo.
Venmo, that's what I was using. Because I was using Venmo, but it's not on Alan's end, it's on my end. Something to do with my account, my Venmo account, and my bank account being not able to link up or something. So I don't know what the heck went on there, because I've used it in other places. So, but I just wanted to.
Yes. So
Well-
try. You can do Zelle or PayPal.
I hate PayPal.
No, Zelle. Try Zelle though.
I will, yeah. But you'll never go broke as long as I owe it to you, right?
There you go. Yeah, because everyone else, it came through.
Well, it looked like it went through the night he was up here, and then I was looking, and I was like, something's wrong, because I didn't see it come up. So,
Yeah, I see yeah, your name isn't on the list of 11/8. Because that's the day that he did the lecture.
well, I owe him $50, so.
Well, all right, I'll just have to collect that.
Okay, come back out, break my legs.
He'll never know.
You know, yeah, we were gonna go to Ogden this week, but we decided to not fly home and drive back across the frozen tundra. So we're staying in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So out this window is just a frozen tundra.
Hey, pull that shade back again.
No, do
That's
not.
Alan. That's just
Who
a
is it?
body.
Hi, Alan.
I didn't change. You can watch the reflection.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty impressive. You pulled it back and Alan was dressed.
We just had to go buy. So I think I've talked to you guys before about buying. No, maybe not. So before the pandemic, we were going to do a show in Alaska in February, and Alan said, "Well, just go get some snow boots." And I said, "I live in San Diego. Where do you suggest I buy snow boots?"
The
At the
internet.
store. Yeah. Well, no, because my feet range anywhere from size 3 to size 7, depending on the shoe. Like I can wear children's
That's why you
shoes.
go with Amazon, because you can send anything that doesn't fit back.
I don't have time for that. So I ended up not buying snowshoes in San Diego. I bought them in Alaska. So today we were in Minnesota and he didn't bring his swimsuit and he wants to go to the jacuzzi. So we had to, in the middle of December, attempt to find a bathing suit
In Minnesota.
in Minnesota.
I can see how that might be challenging.
No, they do the ice plunge in Minnesota, though.
Yeah, well, they don't, He drunk texted me. It just came through.
He drunk texted you from across the room.
No, he texted me before, but it just came through. So it says, thank you. So yeah, we just went to a lovely place called Brick and Bourbon and had a delightful beer called French Toast. And it was very good. So we almost had to walk back to the hotel.
We could have skipped. You don't want to skip.
No, 36 degrees is not my idea of a good time.
It's only 33 here in Ogden, so.
Yeah, it was when we got here yesterday, it was 11.
Oh,
I was like, how did my ancestors live here? Oh yeah, they ate potatoes.
It does make a difference. I have noticed it does make a difference. When I'm in ketosis, I get colder.
Yeah. When you're chunky, it's not a problem.
Like it doesn't even matter. Like I'm chunky even though I'm in ketosis. But just not having starches, I don't know. I guess fat doesn't burn as hot. I don't know.
Yeah. And alcohol. I mean, if you're in ketosis and you hit some alcohol, you'll know.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience, but Melanie
You'll
did.
be a cheap date. You'll be a cheap date. Yeah, when I first did keto, I didn't drink for 2 months. And then I went to Vegas and I had what I call a keto Rita. Just one.
That's all it takes.
That was enough. I handed my keys over.
You say it'd be a cheap date. How would I know the difference if I was a cheap date?
I sounded like Scott. When I sound like Scott, it's time to turn my keys over.
Yep. Just imagine what I sound like if I were to get drunk.
I wonder what you sound like. I don't know. I'm either British or Southern, so it depends on who I'm hanging out with. So we've got a full house today.
And Colin and Bob aren't even here yet. I believe both of them are coming.
My goodness.
Huh?
Right. Oh my goodness, I said. Oh, I gotta tell Alan.
Oh, I guess we can't hear whatever she's telling Alan.
I was telling him what Steve told me.
I figured you were just gonna keep that to yourself.
His money is my money. It's all good.
He'll never know. He'll never know.
You can just send that directly to Venmo. I'll send you my link.
Here's the right link. You got the wrong one.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for now on. I'm just gonna go, well, I paid Lisa.
He'll never know.
When I do Tarot, I have like a printout of my Venmo. I just set it on the table.
That's what I do as well. But I sit here, so this is my life now. I sit.
Here's your
sit here
rope.
with these damn ropes, and fastest knots in the world, and
Nice. But can you do that one? The rope.
Well, not with this
climbing.
rope. So I have a different rope I do that with, and tie the knots. And
I can do a lot of stuff with a rope. Anybody want me to demonstrate sometime? Just let me know.
Okay, this is not a shibari class.
Boy Scout.
Yeah, Boy Scout.
I do that one where we tie knots in there. I don't know.
You get a knot, and when you get up in the morning and you're tired and you tie your shoelaces together, do you ever get a knot in them?
Yep.
You just pull on both ends and the knot comes right out. But you gotta have the throwaway knot.
I have throwaway knots all over my room in here because I've been throwing them all over the place.
Yeah, we didn't do the last time we had a show. He didn't do the full magic. He just did the balloon popping contest. So no ropes. The rest of y'all are like, what the hell?
No, hypnosis and magic aren't the same, but there's a lot of crossover between the two performing arts side of it. Like there's a lot of people who are magicians who are hypnotists, and a lot of mentalism plays in.
Capturing attention.
Exactly.
Right? Ponytails and vests. Yep.
Yeah. When you're capturing someone's attention, I haven't done it yet, but I just edited the video for last night, and I'm gonna pull out some clips of people that thought they weren't hypnotized and they woke up during the show, and I just did.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they're going onto the chair next to him. And then afterwards, they're like, I wasn't hypnotized. I was like, yeah, okay.
Bob came up with a variation on the butterfly induction that he was telling me about earlier.
Yeah, I didn't even do the butterfly on them.
I've never even seen that. What one was that?
Butterfly
like-
induction is where you do this in front of their eyes.
Okay.
Flutter your
And then you
fingers
bring
around.
it down. So if you got
Okay, I've learned something similar. Mike Mandel has something he calls the REM
You know,
induction.
that's what I heard. That's what I learned it as. I've seen it called 4 or 5 different things, but
Yeah.
most people
we know
know it
my
as the
theory.
butterfly induction. I find.
Well, I did it, but just with one finger on Saturday. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so you
just the
start
point.
above
No.
there.
What were you
Above
doing?
there.
Like- I mean,
You start above, you know, like, so you're getting eye fatigue. So you
Yeah.
start above.
Yeah.
And then you go side to side. And then eventually you go down and you sleep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to add that to my repertoire.
so
Try that.
you know how it is, James. I live firmly in the Bible Belt up here in the Texas Panhandle, and we used to sell jewelry, and one of our pieces of jewelry was a spiral pendant, right? And some little kid was wanting one, and his parents let him buy one, right? I think it was his grandmother. And I asked him why he wanted it, and he said he wanted to hypnotize his little brother or his older brother. I don't remember which one it was, but he wanted to
You
hypnotize his
said,
brother.
this is the right thing for that.
Right. So I said, oh, well, when you go to hypnotize him, be sure you hold the pendant above his eye line so he has to look up at it while you swing it back and forth. Oh my God, I thought his grandma was gonna fucking have a fit. Because I was teaching him how to
I'm sorry,
Oh,
that's
man.
called a conniption.
Oh yeah. Like, oh my God.
That too.
I thought it was
It's a
hilarious
conniption.
though.
Because vernacular is conniption. Like an
Yeah.
conniption. Oh yeah, I did tarot last night and we didn't before the show. So it was all a surprise. So you know how I feel about surprise hypnosis shows, right?
Yeah, you love them.
Yeah, they're my favorite. So the entire entertainment was a surprise. They did not know there was going to be a tarot reader. They did not know there was going to be any magic. And they did not know there was going to be a hypnosis show.
And they didn't know they were going to sit through an hour and 50 minutes of
Yeah.
Like, do y'all tell the people that book you, hey, your event will be a lot better if you hype us up before the event? Like,
So she gave me the schedule, and she said there was going to be a cocktail hour for an hour, do tarot.
I created that schedule.
Did you help her with it? Okay. So I called her yesterday or the day before or the day. Yeah, yesterday. I called her yesterday, asked her what was the plan. I found out while I was doing the tarot from the head of HR that it was all a surprise.
Huh.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
great.
that's not good.
So then they said that at 7 they wanted Alan to do 10 minutes of magic. And then they were gonna do an hour and 20 minutes of awards. They were gonna give away awards, prizes. Should I move the curtain now?
I don't know.
No.
Should you?
No.
Are you getting an eyeful?
I'm getting an eyeful.
If I want to look at old Trively stuff, I'll go look in the mirror.
I mean, I ain't scared, but it's against
cold in
Zoom's
here.
policy, so better
It's
keep
cold
it.
in
Better
here.
keep it
That's
hid.
what I have to say. And he's gonna apparently go to the jacuzzi. later.
Alan, we know what shrinkage is. Don't worry.
No, the video
11
was
degrees though, that's a
awesome.
whole different level.
Yeah, it's cold here. Turtle, it was cold.
It's like, is that a marble? No, get it quick.
So we did the 10 minutes during the time, she said, do this, do this, do this. And then they proceeded to go for almost 2 hours with, they had video clips, they had speeches, and the guy that was doing the speeches was actually really funny. Like the guy that ran the company was really funny. But it was all very
Patriotic Jesus.
patriotic, religious, red, white, and blue. They played a song video that talked about having a Bible on the table and a flag on your wall and methamphetamine in your system, and cigarettes are getting to be so expensive they might have to quit smoking.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
Telling my mama
is that
what?
the vibe you were going for? And like, I understand the Bible on the table and the flag on the
Like,
wall.
Was
but
that
when they
all
did-
in one song?
It was all in one
Hey,
song.
that's legit though, man. Like
They want
The
So
truck driving company. So yeah,
they
Right. I
roll
mean,
on.
that's legit too, because
it's a true story.
of all the addiction treatments, the most effective thing is the 12-step program, which a big component of is finding religion.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
Why?
basically you need to be addicted to something to get off the other thing.
Yeah, I firmly believe that too. I will say that a lot of former alcoholics are now addicted to Jesus. And you know, if you're going to be addicted to something, that's a better trade. So yeah, so there was about 2 hours of that, and then a surprise hypnosis show. But at the before the 2 hours, we did tell them that there was going to be the hypnosis show. And actually, 2 people at my dinner table, they said, "Oh, well, we were going to leave, but now that we know there's a show, we're going to stay." So,
What
that
was the age demographic for the show?
so the majority of the employees were truck drivers. They did bring their spouses. So I would say 30 to 60. Of course, there were some outliers. There were some, retirement age guys, and then the family of the owners, they brought their kids and kids' friends. So there was a few teenagers, but the majority were 30 to 60.
So, and because I don't know, Lisa, I'm going to ask the question: when you guys are going around the country doing hypnosis shows, is there a specific? I would imagine, because I'm a hypnotist, that a younger crowd is much easier to perform hypnosis on than an older crowd, because they might have a lot of built up biases with their seasoned age. What's your guys' experience on that?
So there is a little bit of a phenomenon there. So we joke that if you're going to do high school shows, really, you don't need to know much of an induction beyond sleep. So which is not true. I mean, I do the identical induction for high schools versus corporates. I might say that my corporate induction is about a minute longer, because I want to, but our pre-talk, all of that is identical. We don't change it. Sometimes if the kids are super hyped, then we won't do all of the pre-talk, and we'll say, all right, who wants to volunteer? And they mad rush. But I agree, there you will run into in the Gen Pop, when people know they're going to a hypnosis show, it's different. It's like saying, if you're at a strip club and you ask the people at the strip club what they think of naked women, you're going to get a different answer than if you ask the people at church what they think of strippers. Right? Not that and even some of the people at church are going to think in their head, but they're not going to tell you the truth, right? They're not going to, they might be the same guys you're running into at the strip club. You're muted.
What does your extra minute consist of?
What does my what?
Your extra minute, you said with the older crowd.
Oh, so I actually timed out yesterday's induction and it was 7 minutes. So typically I just do some eye fixation of whatever kind, either pick a spot on the ceiling or stare at my hand. One of my favorites is take your pointer finger, put it on top of your head, look at your finger.
Yep.
So your induction for old people versus high school students, is it more words or is it slower words?
I'm going back to church.
Going back to church.
Yeah. Now that I know that, I didn't know they had choirs, but I didn't realize they had that extra stuff too. This is very interesting.
You know what a good Christian would say about a naked woman? That's how God made her.
That's right.
Right.
Sorry,
That's
Lisa.
right.
I couldn't get it out of my head.
What Jesus brought, what you came into
Is
the
it
world
just
with.
stuck in there, Bob? Stuck?
Yes.
Stuck.
That image just glued right there in front of you?
Right. Stuck
Make
tight.
it bigger, brighter, more vivid.
Turn up the contrast.
Step
So you
into
were-
it. Really experience it, Bob.
You were here.
So yeah, I'll start with some type of eye fixation. And generally with the high schoolers, I go straight to a 10 count. Just, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and then do the 10 count with the deepeners in between.
Now on stage it's different, but I find a lot of times in person, especially inexperienced hypnotists, or although I've seen really experienced hypnotists do this, they get stuck on an induction and they're like, oh, I've got to do the whole induction. And it's like, bro, they're gone. Move on.
Yes, I agree. I mean,
drop
you can
some
definitely
lines. It's okay. They'll
Let's-
never know.
let's put that in the parking lot and we'll come back to that. Absolutely. Because I'm firmly in that. So I'll go straight into a 10 count and intersperse my instructions in between there. 10, feeling heavy, like you're sinking. 9, feeling light. Like I throw all of these different scenarios in there. And in between each one, it's kind of a deeper 5, you're halfway there. Heading down to the count of 1, and I'm going to say the word sleep. And if you've seen my induction once, you've heard my pattern. So for corporates, I might do a little bit of PMR beforehand, where I might say, relax your toes, relax your heels, relax your ankles, and work up to the spine, and then go into the 10 count.
I've never heard it called PMR. What is that?
Progressive muscle relaxation.
Okay.
True progressive muscle relaxation. A true progressive muscle relaxation is tighten up the muscles. Tighten. Now relax it. Tighten these muscles. Tighten. Now relax it. That's a true PMR. So I would call it a modified PMR. Just relax the muscles in your toes. I go from the toes to the head. Some people go the other way.
PMR is the most scientifically studied hypnosis induction.
Absolutely. And it is, if you do any type of clinical, if you get any type of hypnosis from a clinical standpoint, like Scripps Hospital in San Diego put out hypnosis recording, I don't know, 30 years ago. And it was a full-on PMR, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Now, a PMR is agonizingly long and agonizingly slow, unless you happen to be the person in the chair and experiencing it. Then it's anything but agonizing, because when you get done with a well done PMR, like you're fucking jello.
Total jello.
Yeah.
You have clients that say they can't relax, a PMR is the training tool that you need.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the only difference. Alan likes to do kind of a modified Elman. I don't care about your eyelids being so relaxed that you just can't open them. Test them to see that you just can't. I don't care. I don't care, because to me, hypnosis isn't about eyelids.
Right. Well, and the eyelid flutter is just a test anyways. It's a convincer for you and a verification tool for a hypnotist.
Yeah. I incorporate the eyelid thing. So, I tell them to stare up at their finger up on top of their head.
Yeah.
And then I say, you might notice your eyelids fluttering like butterflies.
Yeah.
And I'll look and I'll see 3 or 4 of them have the flutter, but yeah, I think that's the only difference for me. If and again, we'll go back to the being flexible. So sometimes when you're doing a corporate job, you have the uptight people and they're just not going. You're not getting any eyelid fluttering. You're not getting any slumping. You're not getting any facial mask. What do? You add deepeners. You stretch it out. But on the other hand, I've had, one of these days I should bring up the video. I'm sure it's on Vimeo. I had a girl that had taken a training in the classroom, which is where most of us start, right? We go take a stage hypnosis class. And so she learned this induction. Well, it's apparently 32 degrees now here. My watch just decided to tell me. So I had talked to her about adjusting your induction, and I timed her. And her induction on stage, not the first time she did it, but the second time, was 17 minutes.
Holy shit.
And these kids were basically comatose at this point. They were jello. And afterwards, the feedback was, were you paying attention to your volunteers? Were you aware of where they were? Or were you just doing the induction that you planned to do? And she said, yeah, I was adjusting to my volunteers. And I said, really? Because they were, in a puddle. So they didn't realize that it was 17 minutes long, because when you're doing clinical work, 17 minutes is fine. Do 17 minutes, do 20. Sure. 15 to 20 minutes was my standard when I had clinical clients.
Wow.
People want that experience of being hypnotized.
They do in a therapy session if they want it. I want to share a video with you guys real quick, if that's okay, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Because it's gonna be
Set up to go, man.
When you're setting that up, I'm curious. It doesn't require 20 minutes to get somebody.
Joshua, you're really difficult to hear.
You're very distorted, Josh.
So you were talking about fast. I don't know. Can you guys see the screen?
We can see it.
Okay.
So my question was, it doesn't require 20 minutes of progressive relaxation to get somebody into a deep state?
Oh, absolutely not.
No,
not at all.
But if someone's paying me, I want to give them experience.
I don't know if you guys know Derek Watkins. You'll see him walk by in the background.
I just
right
saw
there.
him. Yeah, that's Derek.
Yeah,
Just
so
saw him last week.
Derek and I and we critique these out on the street, and he was like, and Derek's always been really great with me.
So
he's like, why did you sit there and take so long? You're seeing the entire induction in seconds, and he's like, why did you take so long? Because he goes, why weren't you looking at her in her eyes? Because she was already gone. All you had to do was say sleep.
Right.
So when we talk about how fast it can be, in you can
I don't
all
think
imagine
17 minutes is too long.
Yeah, 17 minutes is way too long.
Second.
Yeah. And
bless you.
And I'm sitting there, and had I been paying attention to her.
Yeah, you do see her.
Oh,
when she blinks, she's already there.
Yeah, she's gone.
So is this on your YouTube? Yes or no?
It's on
no, this is on TikTok.
I know this is on TikTok. I'm asking you if the video's also on your YouTube.
No.
Is there any sound?
Okay. So yeah, sound would be awesome. You may not have shared screen with sound.
I
muted
the
the sound box.
Yeah, I muted the sound.
Yeah.
Well,
just music. You couldn't hear because it was so loud.
So
what you need to do is do a voiceover for what you are technically saying to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do if you're going to put it on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And it's just
I mean,
simply
you can
focus on the
kind
spot
of tell
in
what
your
you're
hand.
saying. Focus on the spot on your hand.
Yep.
So
Take a deep breath.
do you want to put this on YouTube and get a lot of views?
I can. I mean,
because
you
if
know,
you do, the
You're going to
video
get a
title,
lot of views.
the video
Look at this
title
cute girl with
is
the belly button ring.
hot brunette with a belly button ring, hypnotized by praying mantis.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, look, a girl in a tube top. Come on.
Out.
There's a lot of guys out there that are looking exactly for this content. Me doing this doesn't have the same effect.
Now, do you have permission to show that with those people?
They're in public.
Yeah, they're in public.
Most places, if you film in public, you don't have to have consent. So because he's in a public venue, he probably doesn't have to have consent.
Is that right?
At least most states, that's right.
Yeah,
like check your local jurisdiction, but yes.
When I was in Vegas, there was when we were doing the reality show, there was a sign that said, if you walk in this area, you know you're going to be filmed.
Yes.
But yeah, what we do is we tell them point at the camera. Because I bet we're not in a public setting. I'm looking to see if I can find that.
And it was so funny that the first girl that you watched, and of course I always ask the standard question, are you okay with me touching you? Number one. And the
Good job.
second thing is, do you have any pains or anything that I need to know about? She did. And I was like, well, we're going to have some fun. Would you like me to take that away after we're done? And she's like, absolutely. So we did a couple of minutes of just fun stuff. Hey, stuck here. I smell, whatever. And then when I got ready to wake her up, she had a lot of chronic back pain. And she's a young girl. She was telling me about it, blah, blah, blah. And I just started going down. Well, it's not really pain. It's really discomfort. And you know what? That discomfort is really not bothering you all that much, blah, 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 this and that. And I emerged her and sent her on her way. She came back probably 10 minutes later, because when you're on the street and you have somebody in hypnosis, all you're doing is watching everybody else around you to see who's going to go in next. Well, this girl comes back 10 minutes later with 2 handfuls of money. And she comes up to me, and Derek got really mad. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, this is for you. She goes, I go to a chiropractor every week and it's never worked. She goes, you immediately took my pain away. And I was like, I don't want your money. Here's my card. Have a nice day. Call me in the morning. And Derek would always get mad because I'm the one guy that would never take money. And he would always point that out.
I'm gonna tell you that from a law of attraction perspective. If you
That's
turn
what
down
Derek,
money,
yeah, that's exactly
you're
what Derek said.
telling
He
the
goes,
universe, I
Yeah.
don't want any.
yep, yeah.
I
So you can-
disagree with that.
I don't.
I disagree.
Because
I disagree
karma's a
with
son
that.
of a bitch.
Yeah. You're
If
not
you
necessarily
provided a
telling the
service
universe,
for her-
I don't want money. You might be telling the universe, I don't need money.
Which was true at the time, but
Right. And that's fine. And there's nothing
know,
wrong with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in a way, she wanted to feel good about giving you a
You
compliment.
provided a service for her
Yes.
and she was used to paying for that.
Yeah.
I agree giving
I
your card
I
is
typically
delightful.
refuse a tip twice, and if they insist the third time, I'll take it.
I won't refuse it anymore.
Well,
I'll tell
I
you
just
that.
I just
I refuse tips.
say no thank you, and they'll say please, and if they come around the third time, then I'll take it. Especially, I mean, I never work on the street, so I'm always getting paid. So
Right.
if
That's
someone's
different, but
tempting
if-
me, then
When I'm doing tarot is when I'm usually getting people, and I'm usually doing it because I'm being paid for the event.
right.
So people will come up and they'll say, how much is it? And I will not say for free. I will say I'm accepting tips.
Do you stick your Venmo sheet next to your table when you're doing
If
that?
the hostess is told people that they need to pay me, then yes. If I'm at a fair or a festival, like a craft fair or whatever, then yes.
Do you have a
But
big giant tip jar?
I have it's about yay big. It's not a giant tip jar.
Okay, so
I
get a bigger
added
tip
them.
jar and preload it with half the money.
Oh, you got to preload it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
preload it. You got to have some fives in there, a couple of tens. I mean, don't get
Yeah.
ridiculous. Nobody's tipping you a 50. But yeah, you got to
That's
preload
helpful.
it, and it's got to be a big tip jar.
I ended up
I've been
adding my
tipped with
QR code to my pull-up banner. So I sent that back to Vistaprint or whoever, and I was like, let's just put the QR code on the pull-up banner to make it easy. So
Yeah, I don't have for my QR code on my banners, it's to get the video. I don't have that for I'm
yeah,
looking to
mine
see
was
if I can-
it was Venmo, but that's a
But
good
I-
idea.
yeah,
the
'cause when
QR code.
that's only for when we have the QR code up for our shows. That's so they can get the video. They can sign up for our email list and get the video.
He's likely to have just picked up a client. He'll make a lot more money.
Oh, yeah.
She could probably come to
Absolutely.
him every week for a while.
Oh yeah, he definitely will. He definitely will. Definitely. And who knows, man? She'll probably send multiple referrals to you. Now, I have a question about her pain. Was her pain acute?
I
Or was
don't
it a
know. I
chronic
wasn't that
pain?
interested in it at the time.
Mm.
That was just one of those Derek Watkins. Hey, Steve, let's go out tonight. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, come on, let's go. So
And this was in Vegas, yeah.
yeah,
That was in Vegas?
yeah. So when I lived there, it was everybody would come out there and they're like, well, Steve will drive us downtown or take care of us or show us around. So that was at Container Park, which is a good place. It's off Fremont, and you miss all the drunks and everything that way.
Yeah, I might have to check that out next time I'm in Vegas. Container Park, huh?
Yeah, Container Park. And the other really good place that's very, if you want to do street hypnosis in Las Vegas, is on the corner of New York, because they have the fences up against the wall. So there's an added level of safety because we did it in front of, we used to do one of the circles in front of the Bellagio fountains, and we would do the dance. I think I have a video of Mark Marshall and I doing some there with the Vegas girls, which was pretty cool. But there's a level of safety that you got to, when the cars are, you're right next to the curb. I'm like, I don't want somebody to fall over and get hit, and all of a sudden I'm liable. So by New York is a really good safe place. Or in the dispensaries, go to any dispensary. You can have a lot of fun in there. So
will they let you hypnotize people in the dispensary?
Oh my gosh, they pulled me off the street and said, "Can you come in here?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Really?" So
Heck yeah.
So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you can have all kinds of fun everywhere.
So where do a lot of locals hang out in Vegas?
Not downtown. The
Yeah,
locals
obviously.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and they don't want you on Fremont either. The buskers
Yeah.
get really upset.
oh yeah, the last time we were down there, we really got rousted by the cops, and I thought we were going to get arrested. So
Yep, me too.
Yeah, but you can if you sign up ahead, you can actually pull the lottery and get an actual spot.
Well, we've done that. We've picked the spots and everything. But there's a lot better places than Fremont to go. Out at the Red Rocks or anything outside the outskirts of Vegas. And I'm trying to think down by the South Point, and I can't think of the outdoor mall that's by Best Buy and everything down there. There's a big park in the middle of it that's really crowded on the summer nights and everything. That's a good place, and that's for locals. So
yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for, because I think you have a lot better luck with pulling locals than you will pulling people who are walking the Strip or Fremont, because people walking the Strip or Fremont, they're in that herd cow mentality,
Yes.
Yes. Just
well, anybody that's out there for the Hypno Thoughts this year, we'll get together. I'll take you guys out, and I'll take you to all the local places.
Heck yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, and I can have the peoples out there put together crowds, and you can have a good time out there.
I'm looking for the church with the strippers and the Jello.
That's Little Darlings. And they just posted a new sign today.
Wow. I was just thinking there's probably a church in Vegas with strippers. Like, if there's ever going to be a church with strippers, it's probably going to be in Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. On a side note, in my weekly D&D campaign, I converted the brothel that I took over from the guy who tried to rob me, and I killed him. He turned out he was the pimp. I took over the brothel, and then I found out how much it costs to run a brothel. So I got ordained and converted it to a tantric temple, because a temple only costs 1 gold a day to run. A brothel costs 25.
That's pretty smart. Tantric temple.
Yep. Plus, we can charge more for the religious experience.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna
Sorry.
see God.
Sorry, I got everybody off on the wrong path again.
No, that was good.
That's good. So I'm sitting here messing around with Doodly. Does anybody out there use Doodly?
I have a Doodly subscription because I caught it on some sort of like $19 super special, use it forever thing. But I'm very familiar with a different Doodle software that I've been using for a couple of years, and I've mostly just stick with that.
Yeah, so I'm putting, let's see if I can get the preview up.
Look at that.
Yeah, I make a bunch of videos like these.
I haven't made any videos lately, but I've used it for training development in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the road I'm going down right now. And I was like, let me just put a quick video together that I can throw out on social media. This is going to be one of the classes I put together.
I have a
So,
question,
go ahead, ma'am.
bit of a suggestion. So, this is just a little mind trick there. When you're in a weight loss journey, do you want to go up?
So I thought about that, and I didn't call it weight loss. That's why there's a couple of things. I called it healthy weight.
Healthy.
Can you put it back on there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
want
open.
I want to see more of that.
Okay, let me. So I called it.
I'm just thinking that, you're here.
So
You want to be here.
have you already done your voiceover for the video?
No, I just started messing around with this. But my thought process on that, Lisa, and that's a good question, is as I'm putting together a course, it's the strategy is 0 to hero, right? So it's not about the hypnosis and it's not about me or anything else. It's about the client and how you can take them from where they're at and add value through hypnosis to get them to the result or the outcome they want to have.
Yeah.
And
Pull
too
it
often,
back up. We're seeing your desktop.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah, we're seeing your desktop, not the.
They want to see the video again.
okay,
Yeah.
let me see. Share screen.
But
I've
I'll
got
tell you, I've made a lot of these doodle videos, and make your voiceover first,
That's a good point, Scott. Thanks.
because it takes a lot less time to time everything if you do your voiceover first. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to time the animations to voice than vice versa.
Yeah, so as I'm going here, and I'll tell you the strategy behind it is, I want to say, I want to give it to the person, the person I'm targeting is the person that needs to get a healthy weight, whether they're obese or they're anorexic, right? So I don't care which one it is.
Okay.
But I didn't
So
want it.
perhaps instead of a staircase.
A pathway.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I think what she's saying is it'd be more congruent if it was a stairway down.
Yeah,
But that's for weight loss versus.
that's.
He said he might.
I got
But
you.
I like the pathway. I'll see if I can't find a pathway, because you're absolutely right on that. And that's the one thing I thought of is, hey, this
Like,
thing is
you're
going
here.
up.
Where are you pulling your images from? Pixabay, Pexels, somewhere else?
Those were all included. I have the big package on Doodly, so
Gotcha.
they were
Well,
all
yeah,
on
if
there.
Doodly, if they've
So
got
the, the
something
end
that
is
works,
like
go
a
with that.
castle or a happy home with like pretty trees
Yeah,
or something. No need to wait.
and that's just part of it. The other thing I'm going to do, because I'm actually going to do live seminars. So hey, if you want me to show up at whatever center, I'll do that. Oh, God bless it. Let me
So if you're going to do live seminars, I suggest you target large corporate employers, because they can often negotiate discounts on their health insurance if they host things like weight loss seminars.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is to get them involved. Let me see if I can get this over here. And I don't know if you guys saw this. You can have it if you want it. I'll share everything out to you. But you can do like a right and a left hand side of the room.
Oh, look at that. What is
I'm
this?
really sucking up some bandwidth here, guys. So it's going slow. I don't know.
It's okay. Okay, so I see that. I think I see the concept that you're actually trying to get them to compete. Yeah, I think it's a great way to get engagement in a seminar.
Yeah, can you guys see? Do you see it with the grid or without the grid?
We see it with the grid.
I see the grid.
I've got 3 screens up here. New share screen.
Family Feud, start game, game
Yeah.
settings.
Share. Let's go.
Boy, that really pops.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hey,
But you
no
go in
grid.
there and program the questions. Hey, you surveyed 100 people on why people eat the way they do.
So is Family Feud a trademark?
This, I don't think so, because this actually, you can see who created this down on the bottom and they use it a lot. It's copyrighted, but it was a free. It's a free download. So
Yeah, I'd check it out though.
I would check it out too.
yeah,
I might still use it even if it is, but yeah, I would check it out and have a
Yeah.
plan in case it is.
Yeah, using that logo could become expensive in a hurry.
Yeah.
so what's the best way to go about that, guys?
Trademark, patent and trademark search. You can, I
Well,
don't remember the
like-
exact website, but just do a
I mean-
Google search for patent and trademark search and the database will come up.
I mean, it's like, I don't think you need a patent and trademark search to know that that is a recognized
Yeah.
logo.
That's like if you wanted to call yourself Target Hypnosis and have a big red dot.
Ah, yeah.
You know?
Okay, it's like the answer is you come up with original content. That's the answer. And I know that's not what anybody wants to hear, especially in the hypnosis world, but that's the
Yeah,
When
answer.
you're pitching it, you can say it's a Family Feud style game,
Right.
but I don't.
You
think
could just
call
say
it
it's a Family Feud style game, and then when you pop up that logo, instead of, it's a similar looking logo, but it says
Could be.
like Survey
Could-
Feud or whatever.
Could be family food.
one.
Or even the
I
anchor,
like
you,
that, David.
you can say survey says, because everybody knows that's what it's about, right? Well, everybody in survey says, although that might be trademark too, but
I
everybody
don't think
is-
you can trademark a phrase like that.
well,
You better ask Trump about that one.
You can.
You can trademark a lot.
So
And
and
let's
the-
get ready to rumble.
The trademark office is being abused, and you can trademark all kinds of crap you wouldn't have thought you could trademark. Like people trademarked the phrase "mama bear" a few years ago, and then started going after anybody who was selling mama bear merchandise.
oh, look at Pat Riley, look at the three-peat. He made a lot of money on three-peat. Right. And then he did it with his Lakers, right? But he trademarked three-peat back in the 80s.
interesting.
Yep. It's just, play on games, but survey says that everybody knows what that's Family Feud that watches the game show. So it's an uplifting, it's a call and answer. I don't know. That's all I'm good at is obviously it's just headlines and stuff like that, puns. I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm in the trademark database right now, and I don't see anything on Family Feud.
It's a really old ass show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
the 70s.
Try to play the Jeopardy soundtrack and see how far that gets.
Yeah.
you.
I know.
Boy, YouTube would take that down in a second.
Yeah.
Actually, they might not now that they've got the license with they might have a license for that one. They've got a license for a lot of stuff.
But Scott, I got a question like when you guys are done about YouTube. How do you upload YouTube music that's fair use or free without uploading the video? First, I'm doing shorts, so I'll do a short. I don't mean to change the subject, but just when you're I know Scott's a YouTube guy. So it makes me upload the short and then pick the audio from the free in the
Okay, so is the audio on your video? What do you mean exactly? Like
no, I'll take I'll have a video of my dog or whatever. There's something I put together in Canva, and I'll upload it, but I can't pick the music until after I've uploaded the short and then edit the short. See what I'm saying? And I know I'm doing something wrong.
No, I don't think so.
No, Reels does the same thing.
That's how you do it.
Same
If you're
way.
using the music or if you're using something from their library, that's how you have to do it.
So do the video first, make it public or private?
No.
You should be able to do it either way.
Yeah.
I don't put any YouTube library music on my videos.
Okay.
So I'm not certain about which way you do it, but you should be able to do it public or private. But you should be able to save it as a draft. Right. So it'd be private as a draft.
I'll try. I think I tried
So
and forgot, but yeah.
If you've got it as a private video, which is basically like it's a draft, then you should be able to edit it and put the music from the shorts library that you want on there.
Thank you. I'll check it
TikTok's
out.
a little different. Like everything you upload is a draft at first. Everything you make is a draft.
Mhm.
And then you put it in there while you're making it.
Yeah. Until you hit post, it stays there. And and picking the music on TikTok is the very last step as well.
And Reels, once you hit edit, you go to music, and you can control the sound so that it's not louder than the person. You can actually turn it down or
Yeah, you
turn
can do
it
the
up.
same thing in TikTok.
Yeah.
I assume you can do the same thing in Shorts, but I don't use the Shorts app to make Shorts, so I'm not certain.
Canva does the same thing. You adjust your levels in there so you hear your voice and everything.
Gotcha.
So David or Lisa, let me ask you, because we're talking about copyrights and everything else. For your music, do you guys use copyrighted music that you bought licenses through? Because I know like 80% of the stage hypnotists out there that I've asked, I go, we just don't worry about it. So
if you're posting your videos to a private kind of thing like Lisa does, you don't really have to worry about it too much. If you're posting it to YouTube, there's a certain amount of fair use you can get away with, but I would not.
It's 26 or 20, it's something like 26 seconds of music.
Yeah,
I've heard that, and I've also heard you're okay if you're just posting it on YouTube for somebody to view, but if you're posting it like Lisa, you guys are doing your selling your shows, your post sales, if that music is on there, that's where the copyright.
No, I've gotten caught. I did a video of a vacation to Disney World, and I used I put Harry Potter underneath it, and it was flagged within a few seconds. And all I did was cut the music into two pieces. I mean, it was just for my family. It wasn't selling anything, but when I cut it into two pieces, then it passed.
Yeah. YouTube will slam you for basically any of the major things that are copyrighted is going to slam you for. There's things you can get away with because it's difficult to tell. Like if you have Elise on there, it's really difficult to tell this is the exact piece played by the exact person. But the easiest answer is just use your own music. Now if you're doing a dance off and you've got that, cut it. Don't put it in there or mute it. And there's other things you can do.
Do like Holland does, have a silent disco.
Yeah.
But I got out of that business.
You're out of the silent disco business?
No, too many production. It's like, it was great, but too many production issues.
Yeah.
It's like great concept, didn't work. You've also got things you can do as far as going with Envato to get very inexpensive music that you license and can use legitimately.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of downside to doing a routine where you've got where you've got Lady Gaga's Poker Face playing.
Yeah, I've got that one.
It's like it might be the right fit for the gig, but the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah. And the sound guy that I had when I got popped for it, he said, oh, well, I bought it off of whatever. So, you can use it, but it didn't matter. I still got popped for it.
Yeah.
Was this, are you talking about in a live venue or in a YouTube?
Those are two totally separate gigs.
Well, yeah, those are two totally separate things. So
if you're using it live, you're fine. Pretty much anything, you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you're going to record your video and put it up on YouTube or even Vimeo or anywhere else, you could run into copyright issues.
Right.
You're going to run into copyright issues on YouTube, period. They're going to catch your ass. There's no getting around it. So either have licensed music, like Colin said, go ahead and license something and use that, and then just put your licensing information in your description of your video, and you should be okay. You may still get flagged, but when you dispute it, if you legally have a license to it, YouTube will pull the flag off.
Yeah. So if you have a musician that can record things for you, like their own, their own composition that they've made, And that's actually something that we're looking into because I don't know, some of you know, but some of you don't know. My ex-husband was a rock star and in another country. And he's an excellent guitar player. So we are looking to have him record a crazy guitar solo for our guitar solo skit.
Yeah.
I mean, the man can play Paganini on a 6-string.
Yeah. So if you do something like that and you've got a license for it, then you're good. You're good. As far as the YouTube audio library goes, it's great for stuff you're putting on YouTube. But if you take a video that you put on, like if you put that on a video that you're going to put up to YouTube, and then you go and you put that video on Facebook, Facebook will nail you because it's a YouTube audio and they don't have license for it.
Yeah. So
There's my client.
There's a lot of bits and pieces, moving parts, as it were.
Yeah, like all of my stuff, I've got a copyright free libraries that I've gotten, and even then I don't ever put them up exactly like I got them. I usually stretch the audio a little bit so that it's actually different, you know, just in case, so that it's not like somebody else's video who got that same content for that same royalty free license.
Yeah, I use NCS. If you just do a search on YouTube for NCS, you'll come up with all
No copyright
kinds
sound.
of,
Yeah, you will, but
copyright
even
free.
those, like whatever you're using, you got to follow the licensing terms. They say
Yeah,
no
so-
copyright sound, but there's no such thing as no copyright sound. Unless
on
it's
a lot of
unless it's
these,
old enough that it's expired, which is anywhere from 75 to 126 years, depending on how things have been done. So like,
and I notice on a lot of these, their footers tell you that if you use the music, just give them the credit somewhere in your
Right.
post.
right. So they're not really copyright free. They're more copy left, which is just, we've licensed it in such a way that you can use it for the purposes all the way up to and including commercial purposes usually.
Yeah,
but not
I know.
always.
James Daly did. He had some videos up, and he got hit for copyright. He's like, "These are my own. This is my own stuff. Like, you can't copyright me against myself." Like,
Well, so like somebody put into YouTube's copyright database generated pink noise. It's like, how the hell can you have a copyright on generated pink noise or white noise or brown noise? It's like, you can't get a copyright. Why you got a copyright on that? That's not even feasible.
it's like having a copyright on stream,
Yeah.
running water. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's
You
like,
guys
you can't
ever
have
listen to the background music? There's some really popular YouTube videos about helping you go to sleep, and they just have, I think, hours of watch time, right? Because you wind up falling asleep on the damn thing. But a lot of them have this music in the background. This is a really good industry, and I see them a lot in my algo because I'm always looking for them, and some of them are cool. But it'll be interesting to see about music for something like that, because
yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I use. I use copyright free libraries for that.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this something I can buy somewhere, Scott? Or
Yeah, there's places you can buy it. There's you can get subscriptions where you pay a monthly subscription, and then you can, most of them, the way they license them, but not all of them, is that as long as you post the video up while your subscription's active, then they won't come after you. But if you download a bunch of music and then you cancel your subscription,
Cancel.
3 months later, you post the video up, then they'll come after you.
I would never do that.
it's
So
no longer yours.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That's kind of an interesting business model.
yeah. And,
If you have some that are
and like
interesting.
Colin mentioned, Envato is one of the big ones.
Envato. Okay.
I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but there's a dozen really good ones out there.
Okay. Thank you. Now, is there one where I could say that this will be okay on Facebook? This will be okay on YouTube?
Most of them are okay for those usage, but you have to look at each one of them to see what their specific licenses is. Their specific license has.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And some of them, they'll have different things. Like you'll have a subscription level where, yes, you can use it to make online video. You can use it in products you sell to people, but you can't use it. Like you can only use it in like I know on Envatos, once you go past like 1,000 products for whatever it is or something like that, then you have to move up to a different licensing structure. You know, so if you were using it on hypnosis recordings you were selling, right, then you would have to, you would run into that eventually, hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Cool.
Yeah, I try to just go with all stuff that's copy left. I will give you guys a resource that I don't usually share with people. It's Kevin MacLeod, you know, of the Clan MacLeod. He has a lot of copyright left audio that he's released, and it's really good music. I guarantee you've heard it dozens of times and have no idea. He actually has somebody in here, I think it was Joshua, shared the deal on finding trending TikTok sounds. The #1 trending TikTok sound is a Kevin MacLeod audio. Because he gives it away for free, and you know, thousands and thousands of creators use it.
Cool.
Okay, now we all have to go look up
That's a great resource.
talk board. That's what
I
he
think I heard his name maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago and forgot about it. Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin MacLeod. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds, went back before I needed it. I like that term, copy left.
Yeah, that it's not my term, but yeah.
All right, I hear the rodeo coming up in the background, so I'm going to have to peel out.
Oh yeah, you can't miss the rodeo. You know, you can watch rodeo out of the corner of your eye and still be on chat, right?
Not me. I scream at the TV. So.
Oh, okay. You're saving us. You're saving us. I see.
All right. Good conversation tonight, guys. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's what we're here for.
Right. And Lisa, I have some lefska. It's called lefska. That's what they eat in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think it's potato though. I don't eat potatoes.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Holy moly. You don't eat taters?
No, I don't like to feel like a 90-year-old woman.
That's like un-American. You should turn in your American card. No, don't eat taters.
You know potatoes are imported, right? Like say it. No.
See,
no, I don't eat potatoes either unless I'm being bad on diet.
Potatoes are
there you go with truth again.
Potatoes are a nightshade vegetable, and if you are sensitive to them and you eat them, you will feel like you have rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
Sean, I think they came from Canada.
I would rather, that's American. I would rather not feel like I have rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh man, that's precious.
When I'm wearing 3-inch heels on stage.
Well, see, that's truth again. Oh man.
People don't realize how food affects them. The only way that you'll ever know if you eliminate it. My son refuses to go gluten-free because he knows that if he stops eating it, he won't be able to eat it because he will then experience fully the effect versus the small.
Right.
Yeah, it really surprised me. I'm not nearly as bad as Melanie, but there are foods that definitely make me feel my age. Let me put it that way. Like I'm like, no, I'll take a little soreness. I'm not giving up dairy. No, like it's not killing me yet. I'm not gonna give it up. Like milk, sure. Cheese, sour cream, nah, not happening.
I say things like I'll suffer for ice cream.
Yeah.
I'll suffer for a cookie, not for pizza.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we were just at an event and I had one of the meals, it was pretty much no choice. There was like a baked potato and a piece of meat. And it's like, I'm hungry. I'm not gonna be able, and I ate the potato. And the next day I was like, ow.
I wasn't that hungry. Right.
Ow. Yeah. And it was just a big fat reminder to me that no potatoes.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
Sean. It's kind of hard to have a stew without potatoes.
Okay, so put radishes in your stew.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's delicious though.
I'm not saying it's not delicious. I'm saying it's not the same.
I mean, they don't smash,
Yeah.
but as far as like when you cook them in the broth for a long time, they have that little red potato situation. going on.
Now, if you get some other kind of radishes other than just the standard radish that's basically a clone that everybody sees in the store,
Oh,
like
the
you
little
get
red
some
ones?
some
Get some
daikon
daikon.
radish or some other radishes, they're a lot more potato like.
I have you're welcome.
All right, Joshua, we'll see you later. Maybe your mic will be working good next week. I don't know. But, all right.
I made
I was trying to use earphone mics, but I'm at my computer now. But I'll be on this next week. Thanks, guys.
All right,
I'll see
awesome. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
the other alternative is jicama. So if you cut jicama like fries and you spritz it with oil and you roast it, it's pretty tasty.
So
It's
I've
not
heard
actually
people
for
say that Jerusalem artichokes are a good substitute, but I've never had them, and they're nicknamed fartichokes.
Yeah, I haven't had them.
Yeah.
But if I throw radishes into my bone broth, I'm a happy girl.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Well, I may have made most of that stuff up about taters to begin with anyway.
No, I mean we were in Idaho a couple years ago and somebody was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a baked potato, whatever," and I was like, "No, I can't eat that." And they're like,
I knew I was going to be bad on keto for Thanksgiving. So like the night before, I'm peeling 5 pounds of potatoes so I can have some fried taters, because that's definitely an item I miss being on keto. But I'm like,
That
if I'm going to
tater
be having
salad.
pecan pie tomorrow, I might as well have some fried taters tonight.
right, just do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't even try to make like keto gravy. I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna make gravy.
No, I don't even mess around with Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's just like, nope. I'm just gonna eat. I'm not gonna die because of one day. Or in my cases, I don't know though. This Thanksgiving, we had 3 Thanksgivings on 3 different days to go to in a row, and I felt like by the end of the third one, I was like, I might die.
Yeah, I didn't
Might
even
be
go
enough.
crazy, and I got gout in my foot. So.
Oh no.
Have you been drinking that
or
cranberry
it's a stress
juice?
fracture. The doctor's not actually sure.
Oh, that's right. They weren't sure.
Yeah, you've been drinking that cranberry juice, James?
No, I had the extract, but I have cranberry juice coming.
And cutting your protein.
Yep, cutting protein, lots more veggies. Resume some supplements that I wasn't taking. So.
Yeah, I have this one knuckle that every now and then, if I eat too much protein, my knuckle hurts. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I get it every once in a while, and what I do is I get the quart jar of just cranberry, where it's 100% cranberry juice. You cannot consume it like that.
No,
it's
put it in your water.
Horrible. But I mix it one of that and then 3 more quarts of water to make a gallon, and I use stevia to sweeten it, just like you would a gallon of Kool-Aid. So 2 cup equivalent of stevia, and yeah, I might down that thing in a day, but my gout goes away. Like it's gone.
What is gout?
We always
Gout
made
is
our
a buildup of
hacks.
uric acid in your joints, usually starting in the toes.
And it don't feel good.
And it's incredibly
super
painful. Yeah. It's basically like having it is having crystals on your joints.
It's crystals.
Like
yeah.
quartz
Uric
crystals, but they're
crystals.
uric acid. And it's incredibly painful, but it's because of buildup of too much uric acid, and cranberry juice is a major diuretic and clears out the uric acid, and then it goes away. At least for me, that's my experience. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor.
Right?
I was making a note of that. I was making a note of that,
My foot was
Scott.
like, nah, son, that doesn't work.
Edit.
Yep.
I said that Scott was prescribing.
Nope. I'm not prescribing. I'm not
In
prescribing.
my experience.
I am an ordained minister, however. If you happen to have a faith healing, then that's okay, apparently.
Yes. Healed by faith.
Yeah.
Healed by faith. Now I have to look up what levska is, but I think it's potato. Yeah, we were just at a restaurant and they had chicken and dumplings, and I was like, oh
man,
didn't do it. I was a good girl.
So how have you been, Colin? You taking over the world still?
Just one day at a time. Had to do my show on Friday night.
Was this your top secret class
No.
show?
No, no, this was out in Clarksburg, West Virginia for a bunch of truckers in the oil industry.
Oh, we did truckers last night, but they weren't
Yep.
the oil. Last year was
Yep.
oil. Yeah, we did truckers last night. They were great.
Yeah, and
Even though it was a surprise.
yeah, and the and I got a respiratory thing back the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving when I was doing Rich's ride along.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how the ride along was, but
We'll
you had
come
to-
back to that, but I basically, it's like Friday was the first day I was able to actually function well enough to actually be in public. And so there are some things, and I'm not saying this to make excuses, there's some things I know I could have done better at. Okay. Especially, but and it's like, and there was some prep that didn't happen that would have made a big difference. But the shape I was in, what did I do? I went out there, had great volunteers. Everybody there was entertained, except for one dude. We'll talk about him in a second. And
Always that one guy.
and then the buyer was thrilled. It's like, I want to figure out how to bring you back again.
Nice.
So it's like, so that's all I can really ask for. And I was able to get that kind of response when I was still, you know,
You
a
weren't
bit,
100%.
I wasn't at my best. at
No
all.
performer is 100% every night they step on stage.
No,
You know,
absolutely.
it's impossible to even believe that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
So after the show, this big drunk oil trucker comes up, gets in my face. You're full of shit. I don't believe any of this fucking hypnosis crap. You are just like Benny Hinn.
Who?
Did you say thank you? Oh my God, I can't believe you compared me to the master.
It's like
Benny Hinn was a minister.
Yeah,
Right?
faith healing.
Oh.
And I
Knocked
said,
out with his jacket.
well, stage hypnotists were out there doing their thing long before Benny was even alive. So it's like he kind of stole our stuff, is the way it worked. And
Be healed.
and then he says, listen, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $1,000 right now if you can make me and my wife stop smoking right here, right now. And I say, tell you what, would love to have a conversation with you about how I can help you out with that, but I can't do that after you've had anything to drink. So here's my card, reach out to me. And it's like, all right, I'll take your card, but just know I'm just messing with you. Like, okay, it's cool. Yeah. The ride along with Rich Guzzi was really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In that first night, as you're sitting with your back to the stage, the side of the room that stage left, okay, that side of the room was really, really uptight, really, really quiet. The side of the room on stage right were laughing, bouncing around. This is before the show. And part of what I was doing there as part of the ride along was to be up front and see people who might be going under, okay, and kind of help them out and keep everything functioning right for Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of trying to figure out what the hell is going on
Yeah, what's the
There-
difference? Why is
And
that?
there's this one dude who's sitting kind of by himself as I'm getting closer. And those of you who know me know I'm not into any of the woo-woo stuff.
Right.
I'm
I
very
mean,
much
even Rich admits that like he's not into woo-woo, but the energy is the energy.
right. And I am very much someone who believes that hypnosis is simply the science of the mind. There's no magic involved. It's like gravity. Doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. It's going to function the way the physics function.
It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
That's right, of nature. And so I'm getting close to this guy, and there's a sensation that in some different situations I've felt before, but I'm feeling the hairs on the back of my neck starting to stand up. And I'm not feeling like this dude's a threat, but I am feeling like just this dark, dank cloud of freaking pure evil. And he looks at me from out of the side of his eye, just like that, all of a sudden. Then
See
looks
the
away.
whites of his eyes all the way around.
Oh yeah. And it's like, look, I don't know what this cat's story is, but he is spreading this cloud of darkness around the entire side of this room. And Rich only ended up getting a couple volunteers from stage
That's us.
left,
Mm-hmm.
and they were quickly booted.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was interesting. And then the next night, Wednesday night in Va Beach, we're down there, and there were a bunch of other hypnotists in the green room. And I'm talking about some different things got going on, about how, I've got this show for the Navy coming up, and the next night for the National Reconnaissance Office, 600 one night, 1600 the next night. And Rich, who was busy tying his shoes, doing something, get ready, pops his head up and goes, "How the hell did you get those gigs?" Now, was there a part of me that was pissed off about that, him saying it that way? Yes, there most certainly was. Was I ever going to react like I was pissed off? Hell no. So what I did was I look at Rich and I go, and Rich is like, "What the hell is that?" And Rod pops up and says, "He's telling you he got all those gigs by sucking cock." And it's like, look, it's like, you just tell me what dick I got to suck to get the gig, and I'm all about it. These skills are not going to go to waste. And Rich is like, "No, seriously, how'd you do it?" It's like, I already told you. It's just hustling and grinding, doing whatever you got to do, which that part is the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then the show on Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve in Virginia Beach. Rich, well, what happened is that Jay Medicine had passed, and then 3 weeks, and he had a show scheduled for Va Beach 3 weeks later, and they brought Rich in as Funny Bones' last minute replacement, and he's been with them ever since. So he's been doing shows in Va Beach for over a decade now, and he has one hell of a following. And I think this is a huge note for all stage hypnotists, is that the best thing you can have happen, unless you're one of those, once you've seen one Mark Savard show, you've seen them all types. I can say that about him since he's no longer practicing and is retired. It's like, so long as you aren't one of those, it's like the best thing you can have happen is people coming back to see your shows again and again. Why? Because A, even if they don't volunteer, they're bringing more energy. B, they might not have volunteered before and they decide to volunteer that night. Or they've decided to volunteer before and they're deciding to volunteer again. And then they're absolutely savants, you know, prodigies. And they just kill it. But it's like he had, what he does is he has usually about 10 chairs on stage and then 4 on either side, what he calls his bullpen. And as people don't work out, he sends the people on the stage off and brings people from the bullpen up. Of the 18 chairs that he had full at the start of the show, he ended up having 15 people, including both bullpens, doing stuff all through the show. And it was like a totally different show. And Rich was totally different. And so, you know, I mean, yeah, no, it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, Rich has definitely been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of his shows, and I've heard a lot of other people who've been to more shows. And there's like, you know, when he steps on stage, man, he's always bringing his A game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what he says too. He says, I don't care how I feel when I step on stage, man. Like all that goes away. I've got to do the thing.
Yeah.
And
there is a phenomenon that when you step on stage, it doesn't matter. I mean, I performed with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't matter. Like it's like compartmentalized.
Yep.
100%.
Unless you're on a ventilator.
But yeah, I absolutely love that he asked you how you're getting those gigs. And I'm sure that he put the emphasis on the you, not the how.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Look.
It's like, wait. You're supposed to be my mentor here.
Yeah.
Well, see,
who asked you that question? I didn't hear that.
Student
earlier.
has become the master.
Rich Guzzi.
Rich Guzzi.
Oh, okay.
And
you should have been, how are you not getting this?
Yeah.
It's not a market that he goes after.
The thing is
we're doing military next. We're doing military on Sunday.
All right.
This week, yeah.
That'll be
Got a military
interesting.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that everybody who has trained me on anything from the time I was in kindergarten has figured out I have zero capability of coloring inside the lines. And as a result,
that's one of your strengths.
That's why he's on the floor.
Yeah, lean into it.
Yep, exactly. And it makes some folks a little bit, you know, like, I'm going to use a different example. Michael C. Anthony. It's like he actually uses me as an example about how you go out there and you commit to not being a clone of him after doing his training. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's like finally somebody got it and decided to be their own person. It's like, that's what you want. You're not me. So don't try and pretend to be me.
Yeah.
And then there are other folks, because I don't do things in their way, and yeah, it might make them a little uncomfortable, which guess what? I'm cool with that.
The only time I get particular, and not with you because I knew you had enough training, I get particular when people come and they have never been really on stage. And then it's like, okay, look, I'm giving you a formula. Do it my way. And then figure out your way. But you're already at that phase. Like you got the formula and you went, okay, point A, point B, point C. All right, now what if I expand point A? What if I expand point B? And what if I expand point C? And yeah, you can't be a clone of anybody. But of course, we all start out with a script, right? We all start out with a script. And then we make it our own. When I was a bank manager, we had this script, and I'm sure you've all heard it. Sounds like, welcome to Subway. How may I take your order, please? You know, and you've got the guy in the back yelling, welcome to Subway, that's taking out the trash that you never saw. How genuine is that? It has to be genuine. And that's where you take the script and make it your own.
You know, you mentioned coloring outside the lines, and it reminds me of the phrase thinking outside the box. But if you think about thinking outside the box, you'll realize that somebody had to think outside the box to come up with the box, because stuff used to be shipped in crates.
Trunks. Why do we have a trunk in our car?
Yep.
Because they used to latch the trunk onto the back of the car.
Yep.
Got about 17 of those trunks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I saw a TikTok video and they were saying things like this, and then the lady said, "So did the person that reviewed Hitler's speeches, were they a grammar Nazi?" And then they just went into a bunch of jokes like that one.
Yeah, there's a meme out there about the guy who who was the editor for Mein Kampf, because he's the original grammar Nazi. Yeah.
So these are all politically incorrect jokes at this point.
Yeah, it's surprising how little people are willing to let Hitler just die and languish and never be talked of again.
Well, never mind, I can't remember his name. But there was a guy that everybody talked about when they made, like, now we make reference to they're as bad as Hitler. Well, before Hitler, there was another guy that had that. Can't remember what his name was. One of them, maybe it was Tamberlane. Can't remember, but there
Well,
was
body count, it should be Genghis Khan. Right?
No, this guy was after Genghis Khan, and by comparison, Genghis Khan was fun. This was one of the guys who's a major ruler whenever syphilis was a thing. And
interesting.
Yeah, when you have a lot
Genghis
of power
killed so
and
many
you
people,
have
they
syphilis,
changed the carbon footprint of the Earth. So,
oh, he's not the only one.
I have a Zoom question.
Oh.
Every once in a while, I'm on a Zoom call, and then when I go click into another window, the sound totally cuts out. And there are other times that I can go to another window and the sound is fine.
So
has anyone
Zoom's
experienced that?
Zoom's audio is independent of your computer's audio settings. So down at the mic where you got the mic and you can mute it, there's a little up caret, the little arrow, and you
Yeah.
can select your speakers. Right? If it's different than what your audio is on your computer, you may have an effect like that. Like, yeah, it happens to me sometimes.
Let me look at same as speakers. I need someone to say something.
Okay, I can say something. How's that?
There we go.
Something, something
me
else,
flip it
something
over
more,
here.
something less.
Something. on the other.
I am the very model of a modern major
Oh.
general. No, can't hear me.
No, it went away. Went
Oh, I
away.
don't know what happened.
Something.
It's probably
I'm gonna have
a
to
good
play
thing,
with
man.
that,
Probably
though.
saved your ears. I was singing.
Yeah. Zoom is maddening. Because of that.
Yeah.
Like I just had a client phone call and I tried muting you guys, and then all of a sudden you popped up. Good thing Colin wasn't cursing or anything while I was on the call.
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. You're like, once you mute it, it should be.
Yeah,
good.
it's got a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna have to cut out. I had a very long. I actually had a tremendous show last night.
Awesome.
I think the best corporate type of show that I think I've ever had. A hypnosis show.
Nice.
Love
just
to hear
everything
about it
was
sometime.
clicking. But it was like 3 hours away, and so I didn't get much sleep.
All right.
So-
Well, we will catch
At that
you
point,
next
you asked
week
for
then.
a hotel.
Yeah, it was just like, it was. Excuse me.
Yeah, but the weather in New York, I mean, that's
No, I mean, I was fine, but all right. So I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Talk to you later, David. Bye.
Take care, David.
so you did do your top secret show, Colin? No.
The top secret one is in for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Yeah.
That's next Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
That's our North Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota week.
I hate that we can't get no video of that show.
Me
I
too.
know. Why?
Uh,
Yeah. Really wish I could.
but I totally get why you can't.
Yep. Yep.
I'd say that's great. And that means that since I'm signing an NDA clause, you're signing a repeat performance clause.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Hope that becomes a
They
regular.
might
gig
recruit
for
you. They might have a new version of MK Ultra kicking off.
Uh-oh. No, I guarantee you, if they're looking to recruit somebody for that, Colin is the wrong person.
But that makes him the right one. No one would see it coming.
No one would ever suspect.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that I got to look at some of those documents in a classified format.
Do I need to stop the recording?
No, as they were
Okay.
being declassified, and
Okay.
ultimately were declassified.
Yeah.
And what I learned is the Soviets and the Americans spent billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to figure out a way to make what we do work to build super spies and to use it as interrogation techniques. And what they found is we got way better ways to manipulate people.
They've got drugs.
Yeah. It's like, but it's not hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's not hypnosis. It's like, can you use some hypnotic techniques to help people like special forces operators be able to take control of things like their pulse, their respiration, and be able to withstand certain forms of intentionally inflicted physical pain? Yep,
Oh, yeah.
sure can.
But the thing is, the papers that they declassified, of course, the ones they declassified are the ones that say, oops, it didn't work. They'd never declassified if it said, yep, did exactly what we wanted. They're next door, buddy.
And
There's some
if they
deep-
had worked,
Yeah.
they would have funded more programs instead of gutting the programs down to zero.
Eh,
That's the big hint right there.
maybe.
Follow the
money.
money.
You're right. You're right.
Follow the money.
Right. But then, it's, every decade, it's something else that didn't work that gets declassified, Yeah, don't get James started, man. He'll take
I typed it in the chat. I don't want to go on a rant about it. It's not a rant. I heard several interviews with the author and read the book. It's really good.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that there's I definitely believe that our government has figured out how to create sleeper agents. I definitely believe they have figured out how to do that. I don't think they've told us how to do it. Of course, they've declassified what didn't work, but why would you declassify what does work?
What you do to find that out is you watch the HBO documentary series called The Vow about the Nexium cult.
Yeah.
And they lay out for you very, very quickly, very clearly, the same things we were taught to do as intelligence officers.
Yeah.
To get people to sell out their country.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's all Nexium was doing. Is they were just simply manipulating people by getting leverage on them and leaving them feeling like they didn't have a choice.
I thought it was the orgasms that were doing it.
No, that wasn't it.
That's a different branch. That's a different technique.
No, it's the same. It was
no. That's Nexium.
The only
Isn't
relevant-
was Nexium the branding, or is Nexium the one taste?
Nexium is the branding. But it's like
okay, I got it mixed up.
Nexium's concerns for the orgasms was just simply Keith Raniere's orgasms. Those were the only orgasms that anybody cared about. And it's like but basically, yeah, all this was manipulation. It's like, did Nexium use some NLP stuff to manipulate people harder? Yep. Was there any hypnosis? Nope. Not for anything anybody didn't want to be hypnotized to do.
Well, yeah, but we've discussed what people want to do.
I haven't seen it yet, but there's a documentary, and I know somebody that was in a cult and is in the documentary here in Austin. It's the it's called Holy Roller.
Was it about the Baptist cult, or was it a different cult?
No, it's a cult that started in California, came here, and then they ran and they took off. Now they're in Hawaii, I think.
In the 80s, it was really big in California.
It was big in LA, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it came to Austin, and yeah.
That was where I actually was. That was my original path with hypnosis, was cult deprogramming.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
But ended up having a family. You can't really do that because it's kind of illegal.
It's illegal to cult deprogram?
Yeah. It involves kidnapping.
Oh, okay. Forcible cult deprogramming. Okay, that's different. That's different.
Cult deprogramming, where they would go and they would. So there's a couple ways they would do this. One would be infiltrate the cult, right, and then kidnap the person, and the other one would be like the cults do, where they.
We need to stop the recording.
Well, this is all public knowledge. It's in the movie.
Yeah.
There's movies about it. You know how people would, the van where they would drive up and grab people. So, but I never did that, so I never broke the law.
Now that we have a van.
But now we have a giant van, Alan says.
Please tell me your van's not white.
Of course it's white. That's
oh my
God.
God.
That kind of van comes in.
Alan driving a white Alan driving a white 15-passenger van. That's just bad.
Oh no. It's not a 15 van. We don't have that. We have a commercial 6 foot tall.
Oh, so it's got none of the back windows or anything. It's just straight up
back windows. We don't have side windows. Yeah.
It's just straight up a kidnapper van. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No. It's a stealth camper van.
Yeah. That's what they said.
There's no seats in it. There's a bed.
You're not making it better, Lisa. Yeah, you're not making it better.
I say I live in a van down by the river half the year. This is what I'm talking about. It's a true story.
The more you talk, the more you tell us about it, the worse it gets.
No, there's been movies made about the cult, and fictionalized versions as well about the cults in the 80s and how people were, how they did it, how they convinced them, and then of course, how to get people out of them. So it's public knowledge. I'm not revealing any secrets.
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Next
I don't
week
have
on 60 Minutes.
Not revealing any secrets.
So, Joe, you hitting the ground running? You get a bunch more clients this week?
Yeah. How'd that go?
Only 2, and those are like one's my kind of like a cousin and his wife, and I use that arrow. I think I already told you about it. Use the arrow technique.
Yeah.
And they're still paying free. So I was going to hit them up again. In fact, after I get off this call, I'm going to hit them up again. We're going to do another session.
He's doing the MLM style of getting clients. So they're friends and family.
Hey,
well,
testimonial.
Right now it's on the references.
Just get the reps in when you get started. Just getting reps is what you need.
Another one I'll do Monday would be.
No, we challenged him to make money at it. We challenged him to.
Well,
I mean, you're basically in the redneck version.
I've only
of
got
Arizona,
a little bit
right?
of money.
Not a lot.
You guys south of Tucson. Anything outside of Tucson and Phoenix is basically there. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, having your cousin Bertha, who's had that hurting hip for 20 years, being a testimonial, man, you're liable to get all kinds of business. Yeah.
Well, my cousin's over there in Kansas, actually.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So that'll
YouTube.
But anyway, the tomorrow I'll be talking to this orphanage there in Kenya. So There's no money in that one for sure.
I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna pay you.
What are you gonna be
No,
talking to
they're
them
not paying
about?
anybody. I'm just working on some of their people there. They got somebody that's got an app. I can sit there and actually do people while I'm working on getting clients that are going
Heck
to pay
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, a
that'll give
little
me
pro
more
bono.
problems to solve. Yeah.
Yeah. More experience is good.
And while I'm still working on getting clients, then when I hit something here, I'll just have that much more experience on my belt.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely.
and
And they're
it doesn't hurt me to help
unlikely to
somebody.
tell other people that you worked for free.
No, they're not likely because I mean, first off, it was somebody that knew one of the people in the group on Messenger, and I think your name come up on Facebook as a friend.
Who?
Scott.
Well, Scott.
Unless I misread the friend thingy on there.
It's possible.
I might not have risked.
I've got a lot of
But
friends.
anyway.
I even know some of them.
Yeah. But she's out of Kenya. And so I was kind of leery about clicking on it, being over there because there's a lot of problems over there.
Yeah.
As far as like scammers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. But if they're not asking you for money.
See, they're not asking you for money, but think about this from a tax
There's a lot of
perspective.
things they
You
can do.
might be able to be doing pro bono work and have a tax write-off for your actual hourly fee.
Absolutely. If you keep records.
Talk
Yeah.
to your accountant. I don't know how that'll work, but
right,
you could
talk to your accountant, but I'm going to tell you right now, no, you can't take a deduction based on hourly rate.
Well, actually, I wasn't looking for deduction because I'll be working through my ministry anyway.
Oh, see, there now it's a ministry, man, ministry outreach. I'm telling you,
Oh,
talk to
wait.
your accountant.
Yeah, I guess so you can't like work at the Salvation Army and then deduct your hour. Yeah, I get you.
Well, they're not going to tax me on it to begin with.
Right.
The ministry gets the money and the ministry takes me self-supported ministry.
Yeah, no, see, that's what I'm saying though. You might be able to do it as some sort of charitable deduction. I'm not certain, but seems to me
they
like
can deduct.
Huh?
They can deduct because it's a 501 or 508 church.
Yeah. So like I'm telling you, there's some way to structure that and name it. Like I don't know it, but I guarantee you there's some way that you can get that as some sort of charitable donation. Yeah.
Oh, I can take charitable donations that they can deduct.
Yeah.
That I can do.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely figure that out. But that's cool, man. What are you doing besides that to get other clients? Are you starting to do any kind of advertising or outreach or, posting up on your Facebook?
Yeah, I've been posting a little bit on my Facebook. I've also got that one deal, Melissa. Oh man, what's her name?
Bye, Sean. Hope you get to
I
feel
can't
it better.
remember her. Likewise. I'll get her name and I'll get it here next day or two. I'll post it in the Hypno News or
All right. Yeah.
Hypno Hustle.
And that's
anyway. She's got some stuff on you getting doctors for referrals, getting referrals to the doctors'
Are you
offices.
talking about Melissa Roth?
Bingo. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going
she
through
works
that
primarily
process.
with medical people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting to look through that and then getting ready to go I get some business cards made.
Yeah. I've been thinking about hitting up all the plastic surgeons in the area and seeing if I can get some stop smoking clients from them because
there's
there's a lot of surgeries they won't do if you're smoking. So.
Right. I got that in the class too, but I got one friend that was saying, well, I don't want to do that because there's a bunch of problems with plastic surgery. They do blah, blah, blah. I said, well, if you're going to do that, maybe instead of actually directly challenging them, telling your clients that their plastic surgery is horrible, it's going to do horrible things to you. What you do is maybe work on their self-image without directly challenging the actual clinic that you're getting a referral from.
Well,
just work on
Scott's not even
self-image.
talking about trying to talk them out of surgery. Scott's talking
Right.
about
I know. I was talking to a friend
smoking.
of mine that had a problem with that.
Yeah.
That I was teaching that too.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend him. Just
I mean,
What's that?
if somebody's giving you a referral and you
Yeah.
And you cannot ethically, based on your moral code, do
Right.
that to the best of your ability. What kind of
Right.
ethics do you have to basically take the referral and then try and screw the guy who gave you the referral?
Exactly. But I tell you,
Yeah.
you know,
Can't try to
if
talk
nothing
them out of
else,
it.
work
Yeah,
on
good
their
point.
self-image. If you think that's actually
if
bad for
you
them, work
are-
on their
if you're
own
somebody
self-image.
Who believes
without
that
telling them.
smoking is way worse than
Right.
putting plastics in your body,
Right.
then that's where you reconcile it to your belief system.
Right. Well, there's
I don't
that.
believe that women should have breast implants done
Right.
unless it's for an absolute medical reason.
Right.
And it's for them, you know, they
Well, the way I personally look at it, if that's what, that is their choice. They are adults.
So I would have a challenge myself with talking to plastic surgeons because
Right. But on the
it
other
actually
hand,
would
instead
take
of
away from them, and they're not going to want.
instead of trying to tell them, hey, this is bad for you and messing that up, work on their own
Still want
self-image.
the competition, Lisa.
Yeah, they just don't want the competition.
Well, you know what though? People are lazy. They don't want to put 6
Right.
weeks, 8 weeks into it. They want to go in and have the magic wand waved over them and
Right.
shoved in like a pillow and be done with it.
Hey, some of that work is good work. I've inspected it up close. Some of it's not
Up
so
close and
good, but
personal.
some of it's not so good, but some of it is quality artistic work.
I
Feels
have a
real to
friend that's
me.
had 3
Just kidding.
sets done, and the last time she got hardening.
Yeah.
So she's got one that's like up here and one that's in its natural place, and she's very unhappy.
There's a doctor, like nobody in Amarillo will be like, oh yeah, go to this guy in Amarillo. They're like, no, go to this guy in Oklahoma City. like he's the guy. Like anybody you ask that's had boob work done, they're like, go to this guy in Oklahoma City. Don't go to anybody local. And it's like, that's fine. I don't care. They still have to make sure their patients are non-smokers for like 6 weeks before
I
surgery.
agree with your mentality of getting them to be non-smokers. I think
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you
however,
can be
you can
non-smokers.
help
Like I said, you can work on their
world.
self-image. You
could.
can work on their self-image.
You could.
That's not what.
Because why are they
that's
going there
not
to
what he's
begin with?
after.
Yeah.
He's not after people that
Right, I
are.
understand that.
He's not trying to talk them out of bodily modifications.
That's what this guy was wanting to do.
Yeah. So
but I'm saying,
he should
if you
not
work on their
work in-
self-image, there's a chance that they're going to just decide to do something different anyway.
There may be.
If they have a good self-image.
There may be. And,
No,
and
but you're
there's
missing.
some,
Yeah,
there's
that's
some
what
ego
Colin's point
strengthening.
was. If you take the referral, then you shouldn't be trying to boost their self-image so they don't get the service.
Well, I mean, that's like I said, if that's what you're going to do, that's one way.
Yeah.
No, the way to do it, if we're gonna do the
Yeah, you're
right
not getting it.
thing,
Right. Is
you
go ahead and
you
help
know
them
what? I cannot
with smoking.
this referral.
Yeah.
That would be the better way.
Yeah.
That's the way. I mean,
the guy wasn't getting referrals from plastic surgeons. The guy that had
No.
a moral
No,
and ethical.
he just said,
issue.
nah, I'm not going to do that because I can't do that. Yeah. So, and myself, like I said, the person's an adult that's seeking that. Presumably, they're doing their due diligence on their surgery. Hopefully,
Yeah, I have no problem with somebody doing. Let me rephrase this. I have no problem with an adult doing whatever the hell they want cosmetically to their body. You know, so if they want to, you know, add a third titty, I don't care. The point is they have to be a non-smoker to get the surgery. So
exactly,
and you know.
And that's the issue.
And if they're getting the surgery, they fucking have money, so they can pay for me.
Right. They
You know?
have their
Yeah, that's a fact.
or they have good credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're gonna $20K on surgery, they can afford 2 to 3 grand.
Believe me, tits don't cost near as much as you think they do.
Well,
Well,
yeah, you
I was
could
just
get
going
stopped
on
smoking
whatever.
and then also recovery afterwards, pain management, right? So,
Yeah.
Hey, there you are. Hadn't thought of that end of it though. But yeah, you're right. I'm glad I don't have to think everything myself. I would probably wouldn't get very far.
Hey, you know, like I said, when I posted that up in the, I thought it was a great example today. I posted up the meme with Mr. Beast talking about fuck up faster. And if you can't fuck up fast enough, get a bunch of friends to fuck up with you. And then tonight we've got me saying how it's done on YouTube, Bob saying how it's done on Reels, I'm drawing a blank. Joshua saying how it's done on TikTok. It's like, heck yeah.
Right.
We'll figure it out. Get a bunch of friends to help us all fuck up faster. That way we'll get to where we need to go.
There you go.
Colin's using that mentality too, man. He's like, you ain't gonna have 500 shows under your belt till you have them under your belt.
That's right.
So get them.
I wanted to grab, Bob Laufer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friend of Rich's, and he
Yeah, he
posted
was
up a
there that-
memory of a show that he did for Valentine's a few years ago, and it was the audience was full of teddy bears, and I was like, damn it, I need to ask him if I can borrow that picture and make a meme of it. The only time that you should be hypnotizing teddy bears is when this is your audience.
Heck yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh man.
No, I think there's nothing wrong with
Okay, Colin, you
hypnotizing
can
your
make
teddy
that
bears.
meme. Make it happen.
It's great practice. It's great practice, but it's not.
He likes to make memes.
There comes a point where you gotta actually, it's gotta be real or it's not real. Like you can only rehearse the play so many times.
Yeah, at some point you have to pull the curtains back and
Exactly.
step in front of the live audience.
So what have you been up to, James? You still just slogging away in the golden handcuffs?
No, I did a session this week with my Olympic hopeful athletes. That was pretty fun.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's the second one, and he seems intent on coming back more. He's pretty motivated.
Good.
So,
yeah.
He's working with a sports psychologist, but he didn't think he was getting what he wanted. So we had a mutual friend, and they introduced us. So
yeah, if you're an Olympic athlete, you're definitely motivated.
Yeah, I used this watch. This one came in this week.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
I swore off buying any more for a while, but I use it as an induction to start, and then I did some timeline therapy, and then I was talking with Rick Green, and he was like, "Oh, you kind of pre-framed that with the watch, And I was talking about time, and then we went into timeline therapy, but it didn't dawn on me ahead of time that that's what I was doing. I was just excited because I had the new watch.
Yeah,
but it's got this heft to it. So I put it in his hand, and then I had him close his eyes and then think about the watch, and then you could hear it ticking, and we just started working with all that. And it ended up being, similar to just arm catalepsy with
you actually
verbal
wind
over
up your
top of it.
pocket watches?
Not all the time, but this one I did right before the thing. This one's from the 1900s, but it still works. It doesn't keep accurate time, but you wind it up and it still works.
It still ticks and talks.
How accurate does it keep?
I think there's a problem with the spring.
Because
you can't hear it. But
most watches from
minutes a
back
day,
then
an hour a
were
day?
set every day.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the kind you have to wind it and set it every day or several times a
Rolexes
day.
don't keep good time either, so
No.
and no one cares.
Did you say
But
Rolexes?
yeah, it's got a nice heft to it. And by the time he was done, I was like, I bet that watch is warm from where you've been. And, think about all the other people. So it was just a fun thing to do.
Awesome.
It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, but
Cool.
yeah, the session went well. He's getting ready to go to Africa to shoot in some championships soon. So
awesome. Hopefully.
I was going to ask the group though, has anybody seen any or heard of anybody besides the usual suspects, but there's not like a definitive book on sports hypnosis that I can find. Has anybody heard or seen any good books on sports hypnosis?
No.
Or I guess high performers, I should open it up to, like NLP high performance would probably.
Have you talked to Joni?
Yes, I took in one of her classes in person, but I haven't gotten to talk to her about it. I emailed her recently and I'm waiting to hear back.
Yeah, I would ask her what her resources were.
Yeah.
Because there was, the only book I've ever really seen it's called Sports Psychology.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something.
What
that you
kind of
haven't run across.
athlete is this?
He's a shooter.
Okay.
So he's shooting he's a former NCAA champion in powerlifting. Then he became a world champion in jiu-jitsu. And now his fascination is shooting. So he's shooting in 2 Olympic sports, air pistol and speed pistol. Those slightly different sports, which makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah. Shockingly, about to break some more china. One of the things that the sainted god of conversational hypnosis brags about in some of his books is how that he worked with an Olympic shooter.
Uh-huh. That's, yeah, I know where you're going.
And it's like, so I took a look at the name, and then I started going through all the records of members of the U.S. Olympic shooting team. I went back to 1940.
I don't think that there was an Olympic shooter though. I thought it was a military shooter.
His story was it was an Olympic shooter.
Okay.
And
but it could have been a different one. This person's an American that I'm working with, but he's Nigerian descent, so he's going to try to make the Nigerian team because it's less competition.
Sure. And
I think I see where you're going.
Then I went through all of the Special Olympics. And there was nothing. And I started going through different countries who had participated. I actually was able to get the list of people who were qualified by year as Olympic shooters.
Oh boy.
And see, this is why in today's day and age, you don't make fucking claims that aren't true, because internet sleuths will find you out.
and the thing that pisses me off is I didn't start doing this digging because I wanted to trash Milton Erickson's reputation. No, I wanted to find out more about this dude.
Now,
I want to find more about the story.
Here's the way that you cover your ass. I worked with an Olympic shooter. We're going to call him John whatever to protect his identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then they can never prove anything.
That's right.
Well, if it's one I'm thinking of, he did talk. From what I heard, he wasn't a shooter. It was actually a policeman and a trainer in Prescott, Arizona, and that I was able to verify because I went to the Insight, who does the training.
Yeah,
and they do use a lot of the Ericksonian hypnosis in the process.
Was in this book. The claim was made, Olympic shooter.
Oh, that one, wrong one then.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of, but I thought I remembered it as a military.
I was thinking Lidhowski.
Yeah. And do you, when you said the shooting training facility, you said Insight, not Front Sight?
Insight. No, Insight in Prescott.
Okay.
Front Sight is in Nevada. I've been to that one. Oh, it was.
It used
when did they move?
Nowhere, because Ignatius Piazza stole all the money from his own company.
Oh man, what a bummer.
Yeah, there are people who look, I don't think it's a very good life plan to steal money.
No, that's not.
Hotel that is heavily armed 24/7, 365. It's like
probably not.
Result in some health issues for you.
You could, it's possible.
You know, but no, he hurt a lot of people. And
yeah, I wasn't aware that he had went out of business.
Yeah, I've been through that program, and
it was a nice program. It helped.
Great training. And
but that he sat there and did that was kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Not kind of, is really crappy actually.
Yeah.
But no, this what I'm talking about is called Insight out of Prescott. Totally different group. And at some point I plan on going to that actually, but I'm gonna have to change my economic situation.
Maybe I should talk to some of the shooting ranges around here about setting up classes.
Yeah.
There's an angle of hypnosis I'd never thought of before.
There's golf.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I'm diving into it just because of this person, but
what this guy does, he teaches them to be able to just shoot, acquire their sight picture, stay calm, squeeze off, 2 rounds hit little lifesaver size targets at 15 yards, just boom, 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 consistently. And then he works on rifle at longer ranges, a lot of different stuff.
My fear of that would be I would do that. I'd be doing it. I'd be doing it for like 4 or 5 years. I'd be really, really good at making good money. And then one of the people who's come through my class would end up at the top of a hotel with fully automatic weapons. And
Well, generally, most people aren't like
that's
that.
not the way I want to get famous.
Well, no, but generally, most people are pretty not that way.
Yeah. Most people are not that way. So
I mean, I've managed not to shoot somebody for like 63 years. You know,
I mean, how old am I?
and all
40,
everything
so
I got,
I've managed not to shoot anyone for 38 years. No,
Well,
no,
they
that's
are.
not right. 28 years. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
God has managed to sit in the closet, mind itself, behave itself, and has never left on its own going doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of.
Well, I almost had you a month ago.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, you did. You did.
I came very, very close to having to.
Yeah.
You
Well,
it's about a month ago, but because
it could occur.
Because I had the training, I had the firearm concealed, I was able to bluff my way out of the situation with confidence.
Best way if you can.
Because if at the point in which I draw, life just changed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Once I brandish.
I was like, when the judge asks you, why did you shoot him 9 times? Because that's how many rounds the clip holds.
Because I was scared.
If you empty a clip, you're perfectly fine. If you reload, then you can get into trouble.
Unless you're caught and have qualified immunity.
It depends on
then it's okay.
Jurisdiction.
It does. It does.
It very much depends on the jurisdiction.
It really does. Yeah.
But
there's not many jurisdictions where even in Texas, right? We got castle laws. You got a home invasion. Someone's in your house. You empty 9 rounds into them and then you reload. It gets real hard to say, well, I was still in fear for my life. Now, by the time you reload, that becomes excessive force.
Yeah, and the training,
unless you didn't hit them.
If you apply the train of 2 to the center of mass, 1 to the head.
Yeah.
So long as you continue to have a threat, you rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of us are not going to be hitting 100% of the time. Your biggest concern needs to be what is beyond the threat.
Yeah.
And that you're not hitting anything you don't want. But if you are doing bang, 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 it makes it so that my 13 rounds are not going to get consumed unless I'm not hitting anything.
Exactly.
And so that's part of the value of the training is that rhythm. Bang, 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 bang. You know.
Right. Well, when I'm talking to people about how to go about getting ready for something like that, you know, I'm always telling them, you know, you need to be willing, but not ready. You know, you need to be ready, but not willing. Just can't wait to get out there and just go find somebody to engage. So that mindset's screwed up.
Yeah.
Able to, willing to, sure. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But never
know how we'll handle it when we're in that situation.
Well, no.
Yeah.
But you can train the mind and let the body react, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, what I teach people is practice like on a television or something like that, where it's not going to actually destroy anything if anything ever screws up. Clear your weapon, come up and visualize yourself. You come up, threat, engage, relax.
Yeah.
Call cops, take a nap.
Yeah.
You
People
do that,
definitely need some level of training. The worst thing to do is to pull your gun in a life-threatening situation and pull the trigger for the first time. That's terrible. Yeah.
And then, but I teach them also to practice coming up, balance that with come up, non-threat, relax at the same time. You have to balance those out. If all you train is threat, everything in life is a threat after all.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to balance that with non-threat, relax, chill out. But you have both sides of that equation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get tighter than a Bessie bug on that.
That's definitely a market there might be something there, James. You never know. Might be a lot of people, especially here in Texas.
I've spoken to a few people that have worked with shooters. One person worked with some Zen archers, and one person worked with pistols and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, a good trip.
Of course, I'm legally blind, so I don't know how much advice I can give them on shooting, but obviously that's not what they're coming to me for.
Yeah. Right. Well, if you go through their insight, that might be worth your while if you're really that serious in it. I'm considering just for that.
Yeah, the nice thing about sports hypnosis, you have to be conversant in the sport, but you don't have to be an expert, right? Because it's not really the sport that they're having an issue with.
Yeah, it's not the sport you're dealing with.
They got all the coaching they need. Typically, there's something else going on.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about
I've
just
only
seeing his
worked with
technique,
4 or 5 athletes, but that's kind of what I've observed.
Right. But just seeing what he's doing, that gives you an idea how to formulate that yourself.
Yeah, no, I asked him this time to gave him homework. I wanted to see a video of each of his events, shooting like 5 to 10 or 5 minutes of each, or 3, whatever he's got. And then also I'm going to probably ask him if I can talk to his coach and find out from his coach. Because, usually coaches give you like cues before you go into something. Like if you're shooting a basketball, that's what I know. You set your feet a certain way, you do this, you do that. But just curious what the coach has from his perspective that the guy needs to work on. So
yeah, that's good.
But he's trying to go to Paris 2024, so fingers crossed.
I hope he makes it, man. I hope he makes it.
It'll be a fun story.
I'll
go over there and
I hope he wins, and I hope in his exit interview he gives you credit so that you can finally break those golden handcuffs.
Yeah. They'll be gone long before that. But yeah, no, that's
I need
2024.
to jump off
maybe
here
not.
for the night, everybody.
All right, Colin.
Yeah,
We'll catch you later. Hopefully next week.
Nice talking with you, Colin.
Good luck with your
Have a good night.
shows.
Yeah.
And then there were 4, but I think it's about time, anyways, guys. I don't know about everybody else.
I gotta run here to myself.
All righty.
I'm going to.
It's been great.
You're going to what, Lisa?
To the jacuzzi.
Yeah, you are. Woo, woo.
Heck yeah.
Can't
Alrighty.
swim. Too many children went crazy in the pool yesterday. So they're shocking me. I can't swim, but I can go sit in the jacuzzi.
Go relax in that warm water.
Alan
All
already
right.
did. He had a beer,
Catch everybody next week.
jacuzzi, and now a nap.
Sounds like a winner.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.